Alright, we're back. We're still on that, not the Hatfield and McCoy trail. Now, I'm not going to ride too far out here. I just want to get a general idea. It's hard to tell how far this goes or where it goes. If it's hunting property or mining property. Wherever it goes. But I don't know how far it goes, but I want to get back before it rains because it's supposed to rain today. And I don't want to use all my footage on this trip anyway, on the local trail, because we're trying to map out that. I just want to get a general idea of where this goes. I think I'm going to turn around and go back. It's a good road. I mean, I don't know where it goes, but it's a good road. Find me a good place to turn around so I don't really have to put it in reverse. It just seems to go on around. I guess I'm gonna have to put it in reverse anyway. The trail, and a trail like this, you can move a little quicker. Still need to always be careful and be aware that someone might be coming this way as well. Just don't really want to go around curves fast or too fast. I don't advise people to come here from out of state to take these trails, because you might run into somebody that owns property back there and be like, hey, this is private property, and you know, you don't want to deal with all that. Some people will say, okay, you know, just don't come back out here, this is private property. But then you got some people that, you know, they're a little more aggressive and hostile. But, you know, just like with anywhere else. On the Greenbrier, there was a place where we would drive up the river from the camp and put in and float down to the camp. And there was a guy that owned private property there, and he didn't like people parking and going fishing or putting in right there, and he made an issue of it. Well, that had been going on for years, and he had been disputing with someone over that property. Well, one day they were disputing, and they they got into an argument, and the one guy shot the other guy in the head right there in the middle of the road over something as petty as a property dispute. You know, you just have people like that, you know, so you never know who you might run into. So I don't advise it, because you never know. People are different. People do ridiculous, foolish things, you know, over something insignificant, you know. Killing somebody over a disagreement on maybe whose property it is, that's just, one person's dead, gone for life. And his two sons, in that situation, his two sons were in the vehicle and watched it happen. And then the other guy spending his life in prison. I mean, over a disagreement on whose property it is. I mean, that's just stupid. You know, and I mean, I'm not that concerned about it, and that's an extreme example, but it does happen. You know, you got some people that, you know, they don't like all these people coming in from out of state riding, and because they feel like they're taking up all the territory, the hunting clubs and the mines and the Hatfield McCoy Trail, and you know, they just have resentment. You know, I understand what they're saying, but I mean, I don't really agree with that. I think people are welcome to come here as long as they're respectful. Just as if I come to where you're from, for if there's anything, you know, like tourism or something, you know, just like you would expect me to respect you and things like that, vice versa, you know. So, you know, but some people just don't like it. I mean, and I can understand that it made sense, and I was aware of this, that once people started coming here, that they would eventually want, you know, to ride something new, so they'd start venturing out into what they now call outlaw trails. It's just local unmaintened trails. And people, they don't just ride, they hunt. They may have a hunting cabin somewhere, and maybe they've been hunting there with their kids and dad and grandfathers for years and years, you know, and then now these hunting clubs come in and say, hey, this is our property now, and oh, we're turning that into a trail system. You can't ride out there without paying for it, or you gotta wear a helmet. You know, people just get irritated by everything that goes on like that, so you get, you know, people that kind of have resentment to people they might see as outsiders. Now, most of the people around here are pretty nice, but you do have people that, you know, that are like that. You just have to be aware of that. So, it's advised to stay on the trail system. Even though, like I said, it would be rare to run into something like that, but it could happen. It has happened. But most people here are very friendly. You know, they like people from other states and stuff to come here, and they like to hear where people are from, and if they like the trails, and you know, just neighborly conversations. And people that's been here pretty much got a good feel of how people are here. People are not usually rude or anything like that. but you do have your bad apples, you know. What we say, this is 63 or 62, I don't even remember. I think we want to get back on 61. We'll find out. Now that looks like a local trail. What's that? Is that a log? Putting it in four-wheel drive because, you know, it two-wheel drive, it spins a lot in these loose rocks. I just, you know. it been somebody's, I don't know. I don't see why they'd make it right on the road. Looks like an old road right there. You can see how well grown up it is. Definitely be easier to see. When the leaves are off the trees. Warm out here. Alrighty, 61 that way, didn't we? We went down that. What was this one? Pretty sure we went down. So let's go this way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the way we need to go. Going through the mud holes as best I can. I'll make it back in time to get a sandwich or a Baconator from Wendy's.